Hi, welcome to Retirement Railroad 2.0. I'm Steve, and this is episode number 3 of Workbench Wednesday. And I have to blame or credit Heath for this project. A couple months ago on his live stream, he was going through and operating his railroad and had a minor issue with a switcher, an SW, I think it was an SW unit, losing connectivity, going over a frog. And with N scale, it's awful tough to put a keep alive in it. So I just made mention of, well, if you had a calf, now an SW with a cab is a cow, an SW without a cab is called a calf. What if you had a calf and put all the electronics, the decoder, a keep alive, and speaker in the calf with a wiring harness connecting the two? And for whatever reason, he never did it. But I saw a CB&Q Burlington cow and calf unit on eBay, and I said, you know, this would be a good project, and I like SWs, EMDS switchers. So I went ahead and put a bid, and I got it. And the cow was powered, and the calf was a dummy. So, and these are old units, circa 70s, and I had one of my own that I had a non-sound decoder and keep alive in, because these Athearn blue box units, older ones, do not have much room in them for a decoder and keep alive and a speaker. So unlike the Proto 2000 I just got done with on episode 1, where it had room to put all three, due to slightly smaller motors, gear towers being lowered. So anyway, I was able to do it to the Proto 2K, but could not ever get it done on an Athearn blue box. So I did a little maintenance on not only the one I had, but also the new one, and took apart the dummy and stripped them all down to the frames. Used a sonic cleaner, clean up a lot of the parts. I used a fiberglass pen to go through and clean up the commutator and the contacts and the wheels. These are old wheels. They look like almost like nickel-ish. I don't know what they are, but they're not the typical wheels we see today. So I cleaned those up. And before I get into stripping down the wiring harness and getting it into all that. So with that, stay tuned and we'll run through the process. Alright, so here we are with two SW1500s and an SW1500 Calf, which is a dummy. And for cleaning wheels, I've always used the IPA, isopropyl alcohol methodology on a paper towel. You know, you soak a paper towel down with isopropyl alcohol, you lay it on the track, and then one set of power pickups off of the paper towel, the other on, and go back and forth, and it takes all the gunk off the wheels. Okay? Well, we say that, but a couple of years ago I saw somebody, I think it was SMT Mainline, with one of these fiberglass pins, and all it is fiberglass ends coming out,
and it's used for a variety of purposes, one of which is in electronics, to clean contacts. So when I took this SW1500 apart and I looked at the commutator, I mean, it was gunky and so forth, and you may even be able to see some carbon dust along here. But anyway, I took the pin to the commutator here, and just used a twirling motion as I spun the flywheels, and I cleaned that commutator up, and what was a dark gray was now a shiny copper brass appearance. So the power pickup to that motor has got to have been drastically improved. I don't know yet. We'll have to try it out. This one is DC. I have done the same thing to this SW1500. Already cleaned up the commutator to it. And then I got to thinking, okay, I talked about the wheels. This SW1500, I just cleaned the wheels utilizing the alcohol method. And so I popped the cover off and pulled the wheel sets out. And I don't know if you can see this very well or not. Alright. But they're not very clean. So on the other one, I've gone ahead already and cleaned up one side. I've cleaned up this side. And again, I don't know if you can tell on camera or not, but this side is immaculate compared to the other side. And these old Athearn blue boxes, the wheel sets, I don't know what they're made of, but they don't look to be the steel, chrome, high conductivity wheel sets that we see on locomotives today. Because these both of these 70-ish, plus or minus. So I'm going to take the pen and again go clean up this wheel. I've been having problems with this locomotive, and if you think putting a cube alive is going to solve all the problems, trust me, it does not. Alright. This locomotive. And once it's cleaned up, looks pretty darn good now. Let's clean up the other set, and then we'll clean up the other truck. Alright, while I've taken this other one apart down to the frame and have put its parts along with the brushes for this one into the sonic cleaner, put some IPA on here, and the brushes and springs are removed, so I've gone down into where the brushes go and have cleaned out these pockets. As well, so the brushes can make better. Alright, we got our pieces out of the sonic cleaner bath. Now we gotta let them dry. We'll have to compare one set of trucks to the other. I don't think it's as clean as what the fiberglass pen yielded. Got two brushes in here. I only did 2 instead of 4 because I didn't want to get them mixed. Okay, so the next step in this conglomeration of a mess is taking the frame for the calf, and you can tell the difference between cow and calf frames, because the cow has this support. What for? I mean, the calf has that support. What for? I do not know. And it's going to stay there. We're not going to change that. But we are going to do some milling out of this area here to provide the motor area, to provide a little more room for the larger capacitor pack, speaker, and decoder. Alright, so I'm going to switch over here to this view and get out the handy dandy Dremel, and we are going to cut out the sections in question. Alright. Frame is heating up. So let's let it cool down a little bit. See if we can pull off these front pieces. There's one. There's two. knock the front ones off. Take a look at it from this view. We've taken off and widened out the front here. We're starting to work on the back sections, but the frame is heated up to the point where it's not easily held. I could take it to the grind, to the my vise, but we'll just let it cool off a bit. Alright, so now you can see the differences. I've milled out both front sides and one side here. Alright, I still have to finish off the other side here. Okay? So no use boring you all while I sit here and Dremel and file and such, so stay tuned, I'll be right back. So I now have it all milled out, and as you can see, the largest component, the PX 112 Digitrax Keep Alive, fits down in there nicely. And now there's plenty of room for the decoder and a speaker. Right? And what I will probably do, I may put the speaker on the bottom, because I can point it downward where the sound will escape better from below. Okay, so we'll work on that in a minute. But we now have the frame milled out, and we can add the powered pickup trucks. They're not powered per se because the motor's gone, but the trucks themselves have power pickups, and we'll reinstall those here in a minute. They just simply slide up into place like that. And we could probably even mount a speaker right like that if we so chose, but we're not going to do that. All right. And the other powered truck is right here. And these actually were powered trucks I've taken the gears out of, because the dummy trucks do not have dual side power pickup. Alright. And the whole idea of utilizing this calf in conjunction with a cow is to more space. Alright. Because no motor. And B, add power pickups. All right. That way there'll be, when they're hooked together, the cow and the calf will have 4 axle power and 8 axle power pickups, right, which should supply, and a large PX 112 Digitrax Keep Alive. So, anyway, with that, I think the next section will be let's install a light into this calf. All right, so stay tuned.
Alright, so I've got the LED mounted for the headlight, which will actually be tail light. Use a little super glue and some blue tack on it. So it is mounted and ready to go. I also went ahead and mounted up the speaker, the Keep Alive, and the decoder. And I had the speaker in the bottom in the area that we milled out, pointed downward, so that we get some good sound coming out of the bottom. Then the Keep Alive is right here, followed by the decoder. And as you can see, it is well below, with plenty of room from the shell. All right. So the next thing I got to do is assemble some 9-pin wiring harness plugs to connect between the shell, wherever I just put it, and here. So with that, stay tuned. I will get this assembled. Alright, so I've got this kit, and you can make 2-pin, 3-pin, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10-pin connectors. Alright. So, I'm not one that likes to build things in order to build something else. I want to buy something pre-assembled to build what I want. So, I wasn't real hot on making these, but I went ahead and it was real easy. Now you can leave your jokes and comments on what I'm about to say down below, all right? But you simply, for the wires themselves, I'll just take this red one as an example, maybe. All right, and this wire here has a male end and a female end. Okay. So all you do is, on the female connector, you insert the male end of the wire. How hard is that for you guys, huh? All right, you insert it in there, and the open side goes away from the keeper pins because there's a little tab on the closed side that it'll grab on. All right, and I just looked at this decoder, and the 9-pin connectors there, and just duplicated it. Now all I have to do, and then on the male side I inserted the females, okay? Tough to do, right? So anyway, then all I have to do is cut it down the center or wherever I want, so that this will actually wrap around and go together. Just like this. Or will it? Yeah. They'll go together. And I'll cut it after the fact. Alright? Just like that. Not tough to do. Alright. So, stay tuned. We'll start looking at working on that. Alright, so I'm back after a good night's sleep. And I got to thinking. It wasn't such a good night's sleep because I was thinking, like, this truck right here, and I need to
change one of my cameras around. This truck, the rear truck, is where the wiring harness will be, and I'm thinking this gear tower mount is going to be in the way, as is this electrical pickup lead. So I'm going to use the Dremel and trim those off a little bit. When all else fails, get out the Dremel. And let's get rid of the sharp edges. Alright, that should handle the gear tower. And I can actually bend that over as well. Now I'm going to get rid of these back two prongs. That should be much, much better. So let's feed that back in again. There we go. Yeah, that's a lot better. Look at this down like that. All right. Now the next thing I want to do is make room for the male side of this plug. Now,
Alright, so here I've got it on the track, and guess what? No sound. So, we're going to replace that decoder, send it back to Digitrax for warranty, and try another one. Hang tight. Alright, so I've got the Cow and Calf here on the Workbench, and we've tried them out. It runs great. Even over dirty track and frogs, not a problem. Well, with 8-axle pickup, it should, plus a large keep alive. Light functions work great as wired and set, but the thing that doesn't work is the sound. So we're going to open up the calf, and I'm going to pull the plug on the sound plug, the 10-pin connector, and which is plugged in not only to the dual speakers, also live. I'm going to unplug that and plug in an original 10-plug configuration. And if that works, then we're one step ahead of the ball game. We know that the decoder's good. If it doesn't work, then we got a decoder problem. So we'll open this thing up, do a zip, and take it back over to the test track. Alright, so now we have sound. So, that's with the standard hooked up speaker. Now let's replug my wiring in and see what we get. Success. Hello, this is Steve. All right, fairly complicated decoder, sound decoder, and keep alive install between an SW1500 Cow and Calf on an old Athearn blue box. After a couple of trials and tribulations, it worked out. I have sent back the Digitrax decoder with a copy of the receipt and for their no hassle warranty. So we should have a new decoder back to us within a couple of weeks or so. With that, I want to thank you for joining me here at the Retirement Railroad 2.0 Workbench Wednesday, episode number 3. And y'all have a great day. Bye now.